to borrow any dough. We didn't come to borrow any trouble. We just dropped in to say hello. Oh, hello to you, Mr. Manny. Please don't think that we are hammy. We just dropped in from Alabama. We just dropped in to say hello.
Oh, boy, you said it.
We just dropped in to say hello.
And don't forget it.
We just dropped in to say hello.
And I'm...
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, folks, where was I when I was so rudely interrupted by the failure of the camera battery? I was showing you the Drew Estate cigar that I got from my neighbor across the street. Kurt doesn't smoke cigars, so he will not be joining me in a cigar. But that's okay. He will be joining me in this fabulous whiskey, which hopefully is fabulous. First impression. It's got a nice easy draw. We have to re-zoom in. It's got a nice easy draw. There's some kind of sweet stuff on the back of the cigar so that when you put it in your mouth it tastes sugary. And I'm not a big fan of that. And I apologize. This is Patrol Member Kurt. There you go. And he brought us all out here and all our paraphernalia. And he's also one of the cooks. And a dead shot, so don't cross him. Anyway, we're out here in the beautiful Mojave Desert. You should see the sunset behind us. I'm going to have Kurt, he took beautiful pictures of the sunset last night and some star pictures. If Kurt will send me some, email me some, or text me some, I'll show you coming up in the future of this video. So yes, it's got a sweet tip. All you dirty-minded people, just stop right here. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's a Maduro cigar. It's got a nice, mild, pleasant flavor. It should go good with this whiskey. And yeah, we'll see how as we go along, we'll see how it is. The Mojave Desert is a very, very big place. It's vast. It's tens of thousands of square miles of desert with parks and all kinds of crazy wildlife. There's animals that live in this desert that never drink water their entire lives. They get all their moisture from the food they eat. It's just spectacular, and it's great for recreating. We come out here and we go to the right behind me. You can see a tent. That's the Wally Odin Memorial Rifle, Pistol, and Skeet Range. And over here to my left is the Benny Mallory Memorial Commissary. You know, where after serving us a magnificent dinner of beef stroganoff and salad, we have our underlings cleaning up for us. So, yeah. You okay, Kurt?
I'm good.
Oh, okay. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. Let's uncork this. Ooh, it's got a pull tab. A very poorly installed pull tab. Oh. Smooth caramel and warm oak notes, extra aged bourbon, a full body character that's definitely worth the wait. And nowhere on the bottle does it say how long it's been aged for.
Doesn't it say that on the bottle?
No, here. Take a flashlight. Does it give you the proof? I didn't see that either. Is that at the bottom?
86 proof.
86 proof.
Extra aged. I guess you'd have to go online and see what extra aged bourbon typically is gestated at.
So if it was 6 weeks in the keg and it stayed for 12, that would be extra, correct?
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to open it up. Only the best whiskeys come with a screw cap. Hang on. I get a hint of old bar. Very dark inside, with a dark wooden floor and a brass rail. There's cigarette burn marks on the bar itself. There are dark oak tables, each with 4 wooden chairs and a long, the back wall are dark brown leather booths with a round table and one of those citronella type candles burning in the middle of each one. You know, the one with the net on it?
It is a high class place for it, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not smelling any aged oak or caramely smell. But we haven't imbibed in it yet. Want to hand me your... There you go. Let me turn it towards you. Yeah, it doesn't really have a strong aroma.
Well, it has a very distinctive bourbon smell, and if you're a fan of Jim Beam, it's a very familiar smell, one that is probably some of what they would consider their signature smells.
That's right. So down the hatch. I kind of get a caramely taste.
Yeah, I do. I can feel a little bit of a Kentucky hug there at
Yeah, it's not a
my
big
throat.
one.
Not real bad. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah, actually for 87 proof, it's pretty smooth.
For drinking it straight without, say, a little water or on the rocks, yeah, it's a pretty good sipping whiskey
Yeah.
as it sits.
Like it's a good occasional whiskey if you have your friends over and you don't want to break out that $125 bottle of Duke. You know, this is the perfect choice. Even though this bottle was over $35, you know. But yeah, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all.
Go!
You saw that on camera.
A word to the wise: never stick the lit end of a cigar in your mouth, especially after drinking some whiskey.
There could have been an explosion.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I've never done that before.
He has a little bit of a char aftertaste to that.
Yeah, let's try it now.
A hint of tobacco.
Yeah, the whiskey does improve that flavor. Mm. So the place where we camp I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but if you look up nowhere, there'll be a picture of this place. That you know, we are at least 75 miles from the nearest dwelling. Oh no, 26 miles.
Probably, yeah, more likely.
Yeah, where
26
people
miles.
actually live, but from a city, it's more like 75 miles.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
correct.
and then as close to city to us would be Needles, California. And let's just say at one time where we're sitting, there used to be a thriving town, and now there's thriving nothing. And at least 2,000 people lived here at one time. And by sheer luck, we were camping here when two of the former residents came here to show their grandchildren where they grew up. Yeah, that was kind of strange. And during World War II, this was almost the dead center of the desert training area, desert training command that General Patton was in charge of when they were training to go to North Africa for Operation Torch. Okay, Bug, are we gonna have problems with you? Thank you, thank you.
It's trying to exert the fact that there is a little bit of wildlife out here, though not a lot. We saw a small little lizard. We see little trails of kangaroo rats, and there's an occasional little fox in the night that you may see if you're shining the lights off in the midst of the darkness.
Right, right, but they're not that common.
But
Not
in
that
Southern
common.
California, where it's hard to get away from any kind of interaction with a lot of people because it's a very highly populated area, um, some weekends we've come up here and seen nobody. Today we saw about 5 adventure riders come by one direction, went down the road a piece. I guess they turned around and then went back the other direction, so they came by a second time.
And two 4x.
And 2 by 4 by
Yeah,
yeah.
and
They may have
that's
been just transversing the road because it does go between 2 major highways. The road does, but it's all unapproved dirt. And
yeah,
some of it's pretty gnarly because of no maintenance has been done.
right. The road changes from season to season, depending on how much or how little rain there is. And also, there is no gasoline any place really close. So if you're coming this way, you would have to make sure that you have plenty, ample supply of fuel. You would have to make sure you had a spare tire or tire repair kit. And you would have to be prepared to spend the night if something went wrong because a lot of places there's no cell service. I mean, right here I have one bar.
And the fact is that if you're an electric vehicle, do not attempt to come here, as there is no chargers anywhere in the vicinity to replenish your waning battery.
Yeah,
Should you be unprepared?
So all you Rivian and the Cybertruck guys, they need not attend. Yeah,
Yes.
you know.
By the word cyber means it's not for out here
Yes, we're the exact opposite
of
of
cyber.
cyber. Yes, the polar
Yes.
opposite. But the viewing is really beautiful. I mean, the stars are bright.
You can see glimpses of the
Yeah,
galaxy.
yeah. What is that one there?
I want to say that they were talking about actually that might be Venus, because Mars is the little one next to it.
Yeah,
So
there's supposed to be a chain of planets.
that are visible to the naked eye.
Yeah. Well, I think one of them you have to use a binoculars. Is for Jupiter or one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it works out here. And all our other fellow patrol members are over by the campfire, singing camp songs and talking about the good old days. And yeah, they're having
Singing
a good time.
Kumbaya and touching in their most inner feelings about everything that bugs them, as they are able to speak freely without any kind of reprise from any person that might have a opposing view to what they are saying.
Yes, exactly.
And this is
Exactly.
completely off the grid camping. We have to bring everything. Obviously, water, anything else that we're sleeping in, all the food, stoves, lights, and there's nothing provided by anybody.
Yeah,
It's in a portion that's called BLM land, which is Bureau of Land Management. So obviously there's no camping fees, reservation, or rangers to deal with, though sometimes, and it doesn't happen very often, a BLM agent, kind of like a ranger, will maybe drive by. We had it happen one time on a campout. The gentleman was a young guy, pulled up in his pickup truck, got out, said hi. And because we're out on the remote, we are carrying weapons of self-defense, but mostly for just sporting purposes and fun. And he didn't seem to be fazed by that. And he bid us to have a good time.
Hey, didn't he say there were like 4 agents for like 27,000 square miles or something like
It's
that?
about almost the same ratio as our California Highway Patrol. If you've ever been any road in California and you see everybody from the truckers to crazy people driving at speeds that rival Le Mans, you'll know that there's not enough CH Patrol on the highways.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
And so you just have to be vigilant.
Vigilance. Constant vigilance, said Mad-Eye Moody. Constant vigilance.
And we're just lucky that we are still of an age and capability to come out here and be able to enjoy this stuff, get around, have some fun, and then go home and reconnect with civilization, because after 4 days of not showering, it's always a good thing to go home and stick your head under that hot shower and go,
oh, yes.
Oh, this is great. Civilization is very, very good.
Yes. Yes, it is.
But this year, we brought a heater for the inside of our tent, which does help take the chill off.
It does.
In the tent when you're transitioning from your daily clothes into your night clothes and in getting into your sleeping bag.
I know that from my viewers and patrol members in the UK, that camping is a little bit more difficult because, from what I understand, you have to go to organized campgrounds. You just can't pull off into the middle of the forest and camp. Some of you may know Dan and the Travel Trolls. He and his wife. I started following Dan when he was Deep Digger Dan, and he met up with a fine young lady, and they became a couple, and now it's the Travel Trolls. And they have a caravan, and they do live the caravan life. But I remember once he went on this walkabout where he had to camp. Well, he was trying to walk around the entire coast of the UK, and the only place he could free camp was Scotland. So, but you know what? If I'm wrong, correct me down in the comments. I want to learn about your culture as much as some of you want to learn about ours.
And if you want unabated camping, come and join. Come to the United States and travel around. It's a great place to come and visit.
Yeah, practically unless it's private property, practically every square inch of the desert and every national forest and piece of forested land that's federal land, you can just camp in. You may not necessarily be able to have a campfire every place, but at least you're free to pull your car over or hike up in there and camp and just relax and commune with nature. That's the deal.
It is.
And I think tonight it's going to be 38 degrees. I'll put the real temperature down here for you imperial deniers. And I don't know what the temperature is right now.
Well, it was a nice day today, kind of in the upper 60s, maybe low 70s. Then tonight probably will drop down to about half of what it was today. But we're all prepared. We have nice warm sleeping bags. We're all sleeping inside of tents. And
it's about 59 degrees right now.
Right. And it does feel a little cool on the head when you don't have a hat on.
That's Fahrenheit. But once again, I'll put the real temperature down here. So you know what it is in Kelvin.
Maybe Bill should not post it in the Calvin and Hobbes.
No, Kelvin, not Calvin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Calvin was a religious leader.
Okay.
Yes, Calvinism. Yeah. Which I wouldn't.
No, that's
I
something
wouldn't be surprised
totally different.
if Sam Waterston.
Kelvin and Calvin. Calvin was, yes, he was a reformer along with Martin Luther, and he went off in a little different direction. But I don't think he had anything to do with temperature, even though he probably raised the temperature of quite a few of the popes at the time, as did Martin Luther. So, you know.
So when I say real temperature, in the scientific world, Kelvin was invented so they could find absolute zero. So yeah, if it's 0 degrees Kelvin, there isn't even molecular movement. And that was finally achieved, I think, a year or so ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it seems like Bill is at absolute zero. I've noted no molecular movement, but then again, he starts breathing, and we know that he's still with us.
Still with us. Yeah.
So
yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So there will be another Mojave Patrol adventure on the horizon. You can be assured of it.
Yeah. So this will be Wednesday's video, and on Saturday, for good or bad, there's going to be another. Our trip from Atlanta to California by automobile. I think that this one might be the last one.
Oh, he was working through the alphabet. He'd already got to C. And so, if you want to transpose that, it'll be at Z. He'll be done with the trip.
Yes. In the state of Z. Yes. Yeah. So, anyway. But I wish you could see the sunset we're seeing. There's a chain of mountains. There's really nice fading pastel colors. The stars are getting brighter. You can see off in the distance occasionally aircraft flying, and yeah.
And all you people that are in the snowbound areas of the United States or other countries say, "Hey, Margaret, we got to move to the United States. They're sitting out in the middle of the desert at 70 degrees, and it's the 18th, or what day is it?
I don't know.
Whatever day it is.
It's Saturday.
Yes.
It's January 18th.
Saturday. Oh, I was correct. It's 18th, and they're not under 6 feet of snow. Well, we're not.
We're not.
I guess we're just spoiled in that respect.
But it has snowed here. I've been out here when it has snowed.
Yes. So we know what snow looks like, and it's not just the stuff that accumulates in our freezers until we have to thaw things out.
Yeah, that's frost. Frost.
Oh, frost. Okay, frost. Well...
And if you have a modern refrigerator, you don't have frost.
Well, that's true. But if you know Mr. Mojave Patrol, he would rather have a 1942 refrigerator with a coil on top if they were still available today.
Yes. But I do have a 1950 refrigerator in my garage, and that does accumulate frost. Even at its lowest setting.
And he told us that he hadn't been in his garage for many years because of the accumulation of stuff inside.
In the garage.
He did not notice that he never realized the refrigerator was running for all those years.
I knew it was running.
He told me, he said he opened it up and I couldn't believe the light came on and there was stuff in there.
You know what was in there? Frost. There was nothing in there.
Oh, man, too bad there wasn't a knee-high soda from 1950 still in there, cold.
A turkey in the freezer.
And he popped it and would be able to drink it and say, man, it tastes as fresh as it did the day they bottled it.
I had to have soft drinks that were decades old, and some of them did turn out to be okay.
Yeah.
So there's actually a guy on YouTube who does stuff like that. He buys drinks and foods and some 80, 90 years old and samples them. So I'll look his name up and I'll put it down here. So anyway, I think I'm going to give this whiskey 4 Joshua trees. It is a really good whiskey for what it is. It's not the best whiskey, but it is certainly by far not the worst. It's a good occasional whiskey if you're going to have friends over, if you're going to play cards, if you're just going to sit around a campfire sipping whiskey, if you're just going to sit in the backyard and tell tall tales and stories. This is the stuff.
And you're not trying to break the bank.
And you're not trying to break the bank. The cigar is also going to be 4 Joshua trees. For me, because I don't like the sweet flavor on the end of the cigar. It's too sweet. It's almost like it's too sugary. You know, for me, cigars shouldn't be like that. But that's just me. I don't speak for everybody on the planet. Oh, so we have to have our closing toast. Just a touch, just a small touch. So to the Army and the Navy and the battles they have won, here's the flag of freedom whose colors never run. And may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
And to the Air Force, who was all over the top of every one of those.
That's right, right. They support, they provide air cover.
Thank you for your service.
So, until next time, later, Mater.